Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bulletcast. This is about the number, 37 sports recreational podcast. Yet again, we are the only sports recreational podcast. It is simply just too sweet. I'm the pod father, just like Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. I'm simply iconic. On the line is the former Bulletcast champion, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon. How's it going, man?
It's going okay. I had a fantastic time in LA, but it hurts me that you say I'm former because I lost to somebody who I didn't even know I was defending against. So that in my eyes, I'm still the champion.
Okay, so let's clear this up right now. On what is it, December 14th, Ring of Honor's having Final Battle. You can get your contractually obligated rematch there, one-on-one. You versus whoever's the champion, nobody else. Sound like a plan?
I mean, I think I don't need to get a rematch. I think I should just be the champion already. Because I was put at a disadvantage. I did predictions before Smackdown was even over, and then Survivor Series just took a turn. I was at a severe disadvantage compared to everybody else. I don't even know how many people I was defending against. I feel like CM Punk in the championship scramble. It's an atrocity.
So, do you want the one-on-one shot or not?
I mean, I guess if you're gonna give me attitude about it, that's my only time I can get it back.
I mean, it's gonna be. So look, I'm cashing in on Mendoza. Defiance having an event called Loaded December 3rd. I'm cashing in there. Whoever walks out the champ, you get the opportunity on the 14th, and then, as already scheduled, the title's on the line for TLC. So that's a lot of title action in the course of like three weeks.
And once again, just like last time, I successfully defended on NXT, and I blew it for WWE.
True. Alright, well, with that being said, let's hop into outside of the ring. So, James Ellsworth, the guy who helped Carmella become Miss Money in the Bank, the guy who won the first ever all-women's Money in the Bank ladder match, he has been allegedly sending nudes to an underage girl. Thoughts?
Well, obviously that's not a good thing to be sending. To be sliding in the DMs of an underage female. It's just got to let the legal proceedings play out, and obviously I assume his defense is that he didn't know she was underage, and she lied to him and said how old that she was 18 or whatever. But not a good look for old James.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. He's been kicked off of a lot of bookings he already had lined up throughout the rest of this year, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. All right, Enzo Amore, real one. He crashed Survivor Series.
Yes, he did.
Did you see him? What are your thoughts on that?
I did see him. I was across the arena from him, but I was still able to see him, but I didn't know exactly what he was saying. He took, all the attention away from the match, and everybody was looking at him, and then he gets dragged off, and he gets taken away by police or whoever. And of course, the crowd played into it and chanted for him and said, let him back, and that was just one of many things that really angered me with this Survivor Series LA crowd.
Yeah, I mean, people were saying it's hard to be kicked out when you're a part of the show, and like if he was a part of the show, WWE, they would have panned the camera on and be like, hey, that's Enzo Amore, what's he doing here? Stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just another act for this guy to try to stay relevant. I mean, he recorded a diss track about Liv Morgan that was released recently. I heard a snippet of it. It sounds like complete hot garbage.
And he was doing not a concert, but I don't know what you would call it. He was doing an appearance at a club on Monday, so it was all just a publicity stunt, and I was very, very mad at the crowd for chanting for him and just being like, you're playing into his hand. I don't know exactly what he's doing now. Yes, he's making music, but I don't think he's making as much money as he was a year ago. So
Yeah.
I think it's just him, as you said, trying to get attention onto himself. And sad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Survivor Series, it was announced that Survivor Series will take place in Chicago next year in 2019. So that's gonna be an interesting crowd, man. I'm excited about that show already.
You know, it would have been so much better if it was in LA. I could go back and do the whole thing over again. But Chicago, you know, I guess that's a good place to hold the show. And since it's like the first big show since Fox acquiring Smackdown, the weekend starts on Friday with the Smackdown taping before Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. All right, moving on from that, Sabu attacks. He has a pathetic Twitter attack on good old JR. So Jim Ross earlier this week posted a photo, or last week posted a photo of himself with a black eye, and then Sabu responds to the photo like this: "He is a puss ass fag. He's an all around a hole. So f you, Jim Ross. Hope you die. You effing penis head. You penis eater, two-face WWE F boy." So yeah, that's a lot of hatred coming from Sabu to good old JR.
This is the first I'm hearing about this attack. I don't have a mean thing to say about JR or Sabu, but obviously that's not a good look for Sabu to be just attacking JR when I don't exactly know what he did. He said he fell and the concrete effed him up. I don't know how your face gets messed up that bad from a fall, but not a good look for Sabu. And I think, you know, JR was in high places in WWE, and sometimes he has to be the bad guy. So maybe Sabu, maybe it's a business reason why he doesn't like JR. Maybe it's a personal reason. I don't know. I wasn't there, but maybe Sabu shouldn't have gone that hard on JR.
Yeah, absolutely not. All right, moving on with some more Twitter beef. So there's this video that is circled around social media of Emmy award-winning, not Emmy award-winning, what am I trying to say? Award-winning singer Jill Scott. She's performing fellatio on a microphone while singing. And then Big E tweets out, "Jill Scott, doing any meet and greets? Asking for me." And then Jill Scott, she has a pretty lengthy response. I'm just going to kind of get the gist of it. "Meet and greet, sure. Anything else? Nope. I didn't post that old ass snippet. Piss on whoever did. I would have at least posted the damn point of it all. Trust there's always purpose to what I do. My DM's blowing up and idiots who'll never know what I do for a man. Hollering, hey, big head, wasn't it?" And then that's really the gist of it. Her just being a little upset about that reaction. So thoughts on this?
Not really.
No thoughts at all? Nope. Moving on. All right, so we got some contract expiration dates that I want to talk about. So let's hit a couple of these. Some of these we already know about. Others, these I find interesting. So we have Jim Ross's WWE contract is expiring in March of 2019. He signed on, I think it was 2017, to do about 40 dates, and I don't think he's even hit 40. I think he hit like maybe, I want to say 3 or 4. Thoughts on this contract?
Well, I mean, I don't know what the other names are going to be saying, but it's all the cards or all the dominoes are starting to fall to possibly have this new elite promotion that might be coming out in the near future.
Yes. All right, Paige's WWE contract expires in 2019. I think she's going to resign. Morrow, June of 2019 is expiring. I think he's going to resign. You know, he's kind of like the voice of NXT right now. But this one I find interesting. Stephanie McMahon, in October of 2019, her on-screen talent contract expires. So, I mean, Stephanie, we all know she's going to resign for that, hands down. Thoughts on any of those before I move on?
Paige, you never know. she might be like Daniel Bryan to where she feels she can't get healthy, but I mean, she is a big name on the indie scene. We've seen what Emma's been able to do, and some other women on the have left WWE. Paige, I think she has a good thing going as long as she's still on Total Divas. They don't do anything with her getting fired from the Smackdown GM role. I think Paige will re-sign Mauro Ranallo, maybe a little bit more up in the air just because he does so many different things. He does boxing, MMA. If somebody really wants to throw big money at him and knowing how good he is in all the different combat sports, he could get outbid, but I think Mauro really enjoys what he's doing for NXT.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ring of Honor. This is interesting. Cody Rhodes' contract it ended in October for Ring of Honor, but he agreed to finish out the rest of the year doing a deal for the boys. That's cool. Hangman Page, Kazarian, and the Young Bucks, they all end this year, the end of 2018, so that's going to be interesting. Any thoughts on these?
On the latest episode of Being the Elite, we kind of saw more hints at the people leaving, and now we've got Kaz and Daniels being some more people that might be involved in leaving the company, ROH or whatever, possibly joining WWE, maybe doing their own thing. Who knows?
All right. So Marty Scurll, his contract ends in spring 2019, so that's Mania season, or a little after Mania season. How are they going to all stick together if his contract ends that late?
Well, it's all kind of been known that, Kenny, Cody, the Bucks, and Paige are all the ones expiring at the end of the year, and Marty's kind of the odd man out. But if it is true that his thing's expiring in springtime, he's like one of the only people advertised for the MSG show, so he will at least be with them until after WrestleMania. But Marty Scurll, big name. I'm really high on him, and I think if he were to sign and go to NXT, I would not be complaining.
True. All right, Madison Rayne. We all know her. She was in the Mae Young Classic. Her contract with Women of Honor expires in September 2019. She's a little up there in age. I'm not exactly sure what she's going to do after. Thoughts?
She's fine. I don't know if you want to bring her in and have her just as a gatekeeper in NXT, possibly a trainer. I don't see a whole lot of upside in her being on the main roster and being any more than... I wouldn't even see her being at the Mickie James level, so... Yeah, whatever she wants to do. There's
two more I want to talk about. NJPW, Kenny Omega, his expires in January of next year. We all know I think it's about expires the week before Royal Rumble. So he could be an entry in 27, 30. He could hit number 3 spot, kind of like what AJ did in 2016. Thoughts on your boy Kenny?
I don't think Kenny will be going to WWE. The Being the Elite stuff, I think they're just kind of playing it up and kind of just getting everybody excited for no reason. Kenny, everybody has a price. If WWE really wants them, or they just really want to take them away from whatever the Elite are doing to start up a company, maybe. I don't think we'll be seeing Kenny at the Royal Rumble. And he can't be number 30 because we all know the winner of the Mixed Match Challenge is going to be entry number 30.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about that. Well, we shall see. All right, last up, Lucha Underground. Wow, we're getting all these wrestling promotions, all this talk about all these promotions. I'm excited. All right, so Lucha Underground, Pentagon Jr., whenever Season 5 is going to be recorded, he has an out clause, which means during the taping of the season, it could be at the beginning, the middle, whatever. He can just leave and he won't have a real contractual obligation to the promotion. Thoughts on that?
Pentagon, one of the big names on the indie scene at the moment. Him in Phoenix, I think, could be a good addition to WWE or any promotion that really wants them. They're big parts of MLW, Lucha Underground. Pentagon, there's always the language barrier, so we don't know how big he can be in the States in terms of, national company like WWE. But if Pentagon wants to go to NXT, because I think that's probably his first step, he's not that big of a name to just jump right into WWE. I like him. I don't know what his promo ability or his character would be, but it'd be interesting to see what he do.
Yeah, and then Pentagon and Ray Phoenix, their Major League Wrestling contracts expire 2019. All right, moving on from that, let's talk some inside of the ring. So it is announced for Final Battle, Jay Lethal will be defending the Ring of Honor World Championship against Cody Rhodes in his last match with Ring of Honor. Cody says he will once again take the Ring of Honor Championship into free agency. Thoughts on that?
Cody working with a bum wheel at the moment. Him versus Lethal could be a really good match. Don't know how limited Cody is in the ring. Will he win? Maybe it's kind of a shocker, and he does take it into free agency, and he does end up signing with another company, and he could always come back, do one match, and lose it. You know, it is what it is, but
true.
I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Cody in this match, so I don't think he's going to win.
All right. So, let's talk about our predictions for the shows that we didn't cover. So, let me get my predictions on War Games. Thoughts. Let me get those thoughts out there real quick. War Games, overall, I thought it was a really good show. I enjoyed it. The whole Matt Riddle thing, I thought it was funny. Baszler and Kairi Sane, I didn't realize that was like 10 minutes. I thought they should have gotten at least 15 or 20 to really tell the story. Like you said, I don't really like quick falls in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I like it to be drawn out, take a little time, for me personally. Gargano and Gargano and Black, I thought that was really interesting. I enjoyed that. Velveteen Dream going Hollywood Hogan adjacent when he was facing Ciampa. I loved that. I think I popped more for whenever Velveteen Dream did a Hulk Hogan mannerism or move than any time Hogan has ever done. I thought Velveteen Dream was going to win the title when he hit the Purple Rainmaker. I was a little heartbroken that he didn't win, but it was a really good match. It was really awesome. I enjoyed the match a lot. It really spoke volumes to what's going on with Velveteen Dream and everything like that. So I hope the Dream. We had to call Brandon back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little call fail, a fail call here. Hopefully he picks up. People. Oh my God, is he not going to pick up? Ladies and gentlemen, this is live drama on the Bullet Cast. I hope he picks up. I pray to God he picks up.
Hey, this is Brandon. I'm not here right now, so leave me.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon did not pick up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him back. We got Brandon back, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry. You know, it's rained for the first time in years, it feels like, so I don't think the cell towers could handle it.
Yeah. So I was talking about what Dream Champ. I thought that was cool. The War Games match, that went on like 47 minutes, and I was like, oh my God. It felt long for me sitting at home. I can't imagine how long it felt for you being in the arena.
It did not feel 47 minutes. I thought it was a really good match. My seats were on the floor, so it was kind of hard to see every little thing unless, compared to watching it on TV. But the match itself, I thought it was really good. My favorite match is probably the Aleister Black Johnny Gargano match. That's just my opinion.
Yes. You can check out Brandon's analysis of TakeOver War Games 2. It's up on the YouTube channel and wherever we are listed for podcasting. All right, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Survivor Series, man?
So my thoughts, I thought it was a good show. It wasn't the best pay-per-view I've ever been to. It had its ups and downs. It was kind of a weird, I don't know if I'd say booking decision, but my big takeaway being in LA, so second time ever being there, I was just crowd. I felt like the crowd was I just didn't understand how the crowd was reacting to certain things. Like I was like, thought Ronda would have got a better response. Charlotte turned full-fledged heel, and in the moment watching it live, I'm like, oh, this crowd is just loving every second of it. Is it supposed to be a heel turn? Because my thinking was it was, but then everybody else enjoyed it so much. And then when it came to the Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan stuff, the crowd booed Daniel Bryan pretty heavily coming out. Then they popped pretty big for Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar does Brock Lesnar things, and of course they start booing him, and I'm like, what do you expect? It's Brock Lesnar. And then they start cheering for Daniel Bryan, but they didn't. They got behind him, and then they didn't get behind him. It was just And then, as I said, the whole Enzo thing, it was kind of weird. But overall, it was a good experience. I did a full kind of recap on my other show, Curveballs and Chair Shots. You can check that out for much more in-depth analysis of every single match. But if there's any questions you want to ask me, Philip, either for War Games or Survivor Series about the in-arena experience, any things I might have taken away that you were able to, might have not think translated on TV.
I'm trying to think. I can't really think of anything. Oh, so I guess Nia Jax's reaction, like, it was pretty, like, clear that the people didn't like her, but, like, did you hear any, like, remarks, like, fans do try to put themselves over? Did you hear anything like that?
No, that being the first match of the show, the crowd's really hot, and Nia Jax got a bunch of heat, and it didn't feel like go-away heat or just, nasty heat of them calling her names. I was in the lower bowl, kind of 14th row, so kind of in the middle, so I wasn't, right by the ring where some people might have a little more liquid courage to yell something nasty at her, but I just felt like it was more heat because of what she did to Becky, and people were angry that we didn't get to see the Becky-Ronda match, and she's the reason why we didn't get to see that match.
This is the thing I'm wondering, that whole beatdown that Charlotte gave Ronda, what if that was booked for Becky? Like, if it was, if they think that greatly of Becky Lynch, then we really got something here with her. I can't wait till she comes back. I think they're displaying Charlotte as the man now, if you can see on Becky's Twitter and all that other stuff, but we can get into stuff like that once we talk SmackDown. So yeah, this day in wrestling, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit it. Hulkamania Tour begins in 2009. This was like his own little promotion type deal. This was Ric Flair's official first match after he ended his great retirement, going out against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24 in 2008. The Hulkamania Tour, it had red and yellow ropes, and it had a racist canvas.
Okay.
It was so clear. I had to get that one in there. I had to. All right, moving on from that, Mad Dog Vachon dies on this day in 2013. Legend in the business, real tough guy. R.I.P. And the Bella Twins, you can look but you cannot touch. They are 35 years old today. Congratulations to Brie and Nicole. Brie, former Divas champion. Nicole, the longest reigning Divas champion of all time.
Happy birthday to them.
Yes, Total Divas stars, Total Bella stars. Jergonauts in the, I don't even know. What are they Jergonauts in? They have like a wine business, right?
They have a wine business and a clothing line.
Oh yeah, Birdie B, yes. Well, congratulations to the Bellas. Alright, fan mail, I think we have like 2. We can hit these real quick. Let's give them like 4 hot minutes on the fan mail and get out of here. Alright, so Mr. Toledo, our number 1 fan mail sender. Kenny Omega's been IWGP champ for quite a while now. Has his title reign felt lackluster, yes or no?
I mean, if you compare it to Okada's reign, it's not really that long. He's only had it for, 5 months?
Yeah, but I think the question is, like, has he moved the needle for you, so to speak? Has he really done something great with the championship since he's had the title?
I don't know if I would put everything on Kenny. We've kind of talked about New Japan in the past. I wouldn't say it's a hot product still, I would say. We are moving into the Wrestle Kingdom. I think hype's going to get pretty hot for that, but I don't exactly know how I would feel about Kenny Omega's title reign up to this point just because it hasn't ended yet. I don't want to say anything there. Something might change. And he got the championship at kind of an awkward time. He won it at Dominion, which then he goes on to the G1, and then the fall and winter time isn't exactly the best time for New Japan. So, maybe if he holds it, if he has a great match with
Tanahashi.
Oh my God, I'm completely blanking on his name right now. Takahashi or whatever the hell his name is.
Tanahashi.
It's been a long weekend, Philip.
I know, man. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if I would say it's a failure, but I think if we give him a little more time and see what he does. But he had a really good G1. He had a good match. He had probably Cody Rhodes' best match of his career with him. So I don't know. I mean, Okada's reign last year was like historic and one of the probably the best title reigns of history and definitely the best I've ever seen. So when you compare it to that, obviously it's not going to live up to that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. I haven't really... Kenny hasn't really done anything for me since he's been champ. I mean, that match with Cody, like you just talked about, that was awesome. But other than that, I haven't really seen it. All right, Paul Playley. When will the Elite debut on WWE TV?
Never.
Some of them will go. I think 2020, man. I think that's the year we see Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Cody. I think that's the year we see those guys in WWE in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, whatever. We'll see. We'll see him there.
Never say never. I think the Young Bucks will get there eventually. Kenny, maybe. Adam Page, Marty. I'd probably say Kenny is the least likely, and then I would say probably the Bucks and Adam Page probably the most likely, just because of Adam Page is probably the most likely to get like a big push because of Vince McMahon and how he looks. I love Adam Page, but I think Marty Scurll and Kenny Omega have bigger upsides than he would. But we all know how Vince thinks.
He's big, goddammit. All right, let's get into the Raw recap. Let's give them some hot minutes on this. So, Raw kicks off with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Oh, haven't heard that name in a while. Baron Corbin and my boy Bruan Strowman. Stephanie tells Braun he can have his match with Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble because Brock's not working in December. And then Braun gets put into a 6-man tag match. His partners are Elias and Finn Balor, and then Corbin's partners are Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Notice it's a 6-man elimination tag. So, what are your thoughts on this opening segment?
The segment was all right. I mean, it's Stephanie doing Stephanie things, and it set up the match for TLC. There was the line in there where Stephanie said that dismemberment might be a corporate liability, which, coming off of the Saudi Arabia thing and everything that's happened with Jamal Khashoggi, and we all know what happened there. Probably not the best line for Stephanie to say, and I don't know if that just nobody paid attention to that, or if they said we're just going to throw this in there because they're terrible people.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of missed that line. All right, moving on to the match. So Elias and Finn Balor get eliminated, so it's Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre with a 3-on-1 advantage on Braun. And then they just dismantle Braun Strowman. He gets hit with a Claymore. He gets, what they say, he has like a shattered elbow or something, and he's out for like 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, and this is supposed to cover up like a legit injury that Braun Strowman actually has. He has like bone spurs in his elbow. So they're going to clean that up. Maybe, possibly out for TLC. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to have to stay tuned and find out. So just kind of a way to write him off TV and give him the excuse if he can't make it to TLC.
Yeah. All right, so moving on from that, Seth Rollins, he comes out to the ring, cuts a promo. Dean Ambrose is in the back. He also has a promo, and this is the line that stuck out to me. Ambrose says Roman Reigns is getting exactly what he deserves. So WWE obviously using Roman's real-life battle with leukemia into a storyline. I had my suspicions that they would, and they just went for it. What are your thoughts?
Yes, we as soon as the heel turn for Dean Ambrose happened, we were like, oh, they shouldn't use this Roman Reigns thing to get him heat or do anything to use Roman Reigns' leukemia in a storyline. But of course they did, and it's shameful. And people who try to defend it say, oh, it's always been like that. Yes, we've all, back in the day, we used to have slaves and we used to have people in different places based on their color. Just because that's how it used to be doesn't mean that gives an excuse of what they're doing now. So I don't understand why WWE is using that to put heat on Dean Ambrose. And technically, Roman Reigns had leukemia before he joined the Shield. So, I mean, I know where they're going with it, but technically, he didn't get leukemia because of the Shield.
I mean, it wasn't publicly known then, so I know why they threw it out there now, but still, it's very distasteful on WWE's part, especially in 2018, where they're trying to be all progressive and all this other stuff. Come on, Vince. Come on, my guy.
And they had that very nice package where they had Roman go to the kids, and they had whatever they had, and then the week after Roman announced his leukemia diagnosis, then the same kids said, "Oh, Roman, you were there for us, so we're here for you and get better." And it was so touching, so nice. And then they've gone to the well a couple times of having Seth say, "Why did you do it on this day?" And then Dean Ambrose saying, "It's karma," and it's WWE just. They failed to surprise me. They just, yay.
They take it to new levels, We had Katie Vick, we had, Triple H calling Booker T boy, and we got this stuff. Just, very, very classy by World Wrestling Entertainment. Alright, moving on from that, we have Nia Jax and Tamina defeat Banks and Bayley. Just building up Nia Jax more for her for her soon to be title shot. Eventual, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's been a long day for me. God damn it. Alright, her future title shot against Ronda Rousey. So I think that's probably going to happen at TLC.
It's already been announced. It's already been announced for TLC.
Oh, it has?
What's the product, Philip?
Hey, whoa, man. Hey, hold on. Wait a second, man. I dedicate a lot of time to this business, alright? I've been tuned out a little bit. Got the wrestling season, got to coach the kids. But that's going to be cool for me to see Ronda Rousey live. I'm pretty excited for that. Alright, moving on from this, Rollins and Ambrose have another segment. This time it's a door that says, "Burn it down." Thoughts?
Once again, one of WWE's tone-deaf things. Maybe when you're in California, especially SoCal or NorthCal, when they come over here for TLC, maybe you shouldn't say anything alluding to burning things down.
Yeah, of course, we've been dealing with the fires out here in California, so yeah, that wasn't the brightest move on WWE's part. But this,
especially when they do like Red Cross and donation things for the fires, it's like you know that this is going on, and yet you just throw it in our face. I don't want to sit here and be a PC, get all offended by everything, but it's just, come on, people.
It's okay, man. You can be a social justice warrior. I won't judge you.
Nah, I'm good.
Alright, yeah, this is just one of the many other segments that happens with Rollins and Ambrose throughout the night. So then Ronda Rousey comes out there. She talks about her beating that Charlotte Flair gave her at Survivor Series. And she talks about how she wants to defend her championship tonight. Baron Corbin isn't really for it. Then Ronda, I guess, goats him into it. So Ronda Rousey defends her championship against Mickie James, and she walks out victorious.
I was interested to see how they're going to play up the Ronda Rousey reaction from Survivor Series onto the show. They kind of just played it straight. Ronda didn't really acknowledge it all that much, especially I felt like she kind of took it. I don't know if she was supposed to, that was just her reacting genuinely to how the crowd was reacting to her, if she was supposed to be all sad and in her feelings, but they just are kind of putting their heads down and moving on, and I think they know if they put Ronda versus Nia Jax, Ronda will get cheered against her, so I think right now we're not going to see a heel turn from Ronda Rousey, but if we are working towards a Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania, I think by that point Ronda needs to turn heel.
Yeah, I mean, Ronda Rousey, I'd really like to see her with Baszler, was it Marina Shafir, then Jessica Van Duke or whatever. I'm kind of down for it now, seeing as those three girls are together in NXT right now. I'm all for it. I'm kind of fired up for it a little bit. It'd be nice to see. Alright, then after this, we move on to Ambrose, his basement promo. Honestly, I kind of forgot what he said.
He made some jokes about, something smelling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Smelly jokes. Vince likes those. Alright, so after this, we have Natalya defeating Ruby Riott. Hopefully this is the end of this, I guess you can call it a feud, this god-awful feud, all because Ruby Riott broke Natalya's late father's glasses that all of a sudden became important.
Yeah, I mean, Natty got a pretty big pop when she beat Riott, so I guess that's a good thing. But
I mean,
poor Liv Morgan taking some another foot to the face.
I mean, yeah, poor Liv. Shout out Liv. But I mean, Natty, she's a lovable character. You know, she's a white meat baby face or whatever you want to say. So I'm all for Natty getting wins because she had a little lull period in her career a few years back. So I'm all for it. Alright, then Monday Night Raw, we close out with Rollins and Ambrose brawling, and it ends with 2 dirty deeds to my boy Seth Rollins. And so, announced for TLC, Seth Rollins defends the Intercontinental Championship against his former Shield brother in the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. The gimmick match has not been decided yet. Will it be a ladder match? Will it be a tables match, a chairs match? Will it be a TLC match? We don't know. We're going to have to wait to find out.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match to see it live. If it's my choice, I think probably just a ladder match. If it has to be a gimmick, I think a ladder match probably fits it the best. I would say the TLC match is already scheduled for Braun and Corbin, but if Braun isn't able to compete, maybe they just switch it over for this match. But I was there for SummerSlam, 2014. They had a match together, roles reversed, of course, with Dean being the face and Seth Rollins being the heel. That was a really good match. I think that was a lumberjack match as well. But
yeah,
this should be a pretty good match between these two at TLC.
Yeah, I've seen these guys live in Hell in a Cell. Rules reversed, Dean face, Seth heel. That was good stuff then, so it's going to be good stuff again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk some SmackDown Live. They did it for me. They did it for me once again. They keep doing it for me. So we have Charlotte Flair come out there and cut a promo. She talks about the beating she gave the baddest biatch on the planet, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion. And this leads to Charlotte Flair having a match with Billie Kay, beating her, and then having a match with Peyton Royce. And she wins via disqualification, and then she just spears both of the Iconics.
So coming into the show, I was really excited to see what they did with Charlotte, what they do with Daniel Bryan, what they're going to do with Shane, and SmackDown loses 6-1, but 6-0 in WWE's eyes. But I was hoping that they were going to do all these different things, and with the Charlotte Flair thing, I was ready for her just to turn all out heel, and she kind of did some heelish things, but then she did some babyface things, and I was not a fan of this promo. It just didn't really lead me in one direction or the other. The easy way is just to have Charlotte turn on Becky, but if Becky wasn't in the arena, I understand why they didn't do that. Just, what did you think of Charlotte's character? Because I thought it was a blatant heel turn in terms of what they were trying to do on Survivor Series. Crowd didn't react the way they were supposed to, and then it's more the same here on SmackDown.
I think it was just them trying to build up Charlotte even more, try to be like, if Ronda's the baddest biatch on the planet, but Charlotte, she's a badass too, so I really think that's what they were trying to do. Some will call it a heel turn, yes, but if it was a heel turn, then she would be wrestling faces on SmackDown and not heels like the Iconics, so it's
that's another thing, is why if Charlotte, it was a heel turn at Survivor Series, right?
I guess.
I mean, I didn't watch the live show, but I know what the commentators said, and they portrayed it as that was not the right thing Charlotte should have been doing.
I mean, yeah, it has to be a heel turn because she stomped a chair on her neck. Faces don't do stuff like that.
And then Charlotte comes out. She she carries herself as a heel. She came out in a black robe. She kind of didn't slap hands with the fans, and she carries herself as a heel. She said some heelish things, and then she said some baby-facious things. So I think it was just WWE just treading water and not. I don't understand why they just didn't go all out in the heel direction. And have her come out and face, I don't know, Carmella or Lana or something like that, where you can do the same thing, and it's just, yeah. At least you get more sympathy on the other people that are getting beat up on.
I don't know. I mean, WWE, they have some time to book into. I don't even know where Charlotte goes after this. You know, what's she doing for TLC or the Rumble or whatever. But you know, they got some time to book how they want, and so we'll find out what's gonna go down. After that, Rey Mysterio, the biggest underdog in WWE history. Here's a little backstage promo talking about how he and Randy Orton have done battle time and time again a decade ago, and how they do it again tonight because Orton versus Mysterio was scheduled for the night. It was in the main event. Thoughts?
Probably one of the better promos you'll see from Rey Mysterio, especially for how long it was. It was kind of a little awkward, more of those backstage teleprompter reading promos, but it was okay. Probably on the better side of what you could expect from Mysterio.
Yeah. Then after that, we have Miz TV, because Miz is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time. Yeah, he has Shane McMahon on his show. Miz talks about how they could be, like, the team bestie or something like that, or they can be, you know, the two co-best in the world or whatever. And then Miz gets them a tag team match against some local enhancement talent. And the Bryant brothers, how ironic is that's their name, they go on to defeat The Miz and Shane McMahon.
Yeah, as I said, I think Shane tweeted out something saying, like, oh, there's going to be big changes, and we're going to have to do some things after what happened on Survivor Series, and yet it wasn't even talked about. It was just, you know, brand supremacy. SmackDown's going to be number one, and Shane really needed SmackDown to be the best in the world at World Cup, and yet they get swept, kind of, and then it's not brought up at all.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to go back to the Charlotte thing real quick. I forgot. Paige fined her, what is like $100,000? Baby faces don't get fined like that.
Yes, and then the crowd booed for her being fined, and it was... And then there was another awkward moment when, like, Charlotte asked, isn't the next pay-per-view TLC? And then I don't know if Paige just blanked out or if she legit did not know what the name of the next pay-per-view was, but that was another awkward exchange from them.
Yeah. Well, back to the Bryan brothers, Miz and Shane O'Mac.
Is Miz like supposed to be turning babyface? Because yes, he's like annoying, but he's kind of like funny annoying. And then Shane, we're supposed to like, oh, he's turning heel, and then he's just regular Shane McMahon.
That's a funny thing. In the dark match after the mixed match challenge, Daniel Bryan wrestled the Miz, and Miz was apparently full-on babyface. So, I think we could be getting somewhere with that.
I mean, with Bryan turning face or Bryan turning heel, now on the babyface side you have Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles, and that's about it. If you put Miz on the other side, you can plop him probably between Mysterio and Jeff Hardy. So, you know, I don't know if we've ever really talked about this, what Miz could be like as a babyface, but I think he could be a good babyface. I don't think he's going to be main eventing WrestleManias or anything like that, but solid upper mid card babyface. It's a good spot for Miz.
You know, like 2012, 2013, Miz had that babyface run, and it was all right. It was enjoyable. So you know, let's make it happen.
And you know, he's star of Miz and Mrs. So
of course, and the Marine.
He's kind of a big deal.
And the Marine 6. I mean, you can't forget that.
Also starring Becky Lynch.
Oh, of course, the man. Becky Lynch, the man. And my boy Shawn Michaels when he had hair. Alright, moving on from that. The New Day, they wrestle, I call them the Bar Show, since Big Show's with them. They defeat them in this was some kind of Thanksgiving match. The New Day is dressed like pilgrims. Xavier Woods is sporting a shirt that says 6-1. You know, going back to the whole WWE not acknowledging the Smackdown pre-show win. What are your thoughts on this?
Once again, Vince McMahon getting his giggles out of people wrestling with turkeys and food, and everybody goes all over the place, and it was eye rolling, groan inducing, but exactly what you would have thought that would have came out of this match.
Exactly.
And the Bar losing 2 straight times in a row to dumbass finishes.
Yeah. Eh, I don't know what to say about all that. It was the bar needs to be built back up just a tiny bit. All right, after this we have Randall Keith Orton have a promo backstage, and he's holding a Rey Mysterio mask. It's kind of creepy, yeah?
So creepy.
How creepy?
I don't know, Beetlejuice creepy.
I was thinking more bald Britney Spears creepy.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Asuka and Naomi defeat Absolution, being Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I know that's not the name anymore, but I kind of liked it.
My section was a big Mandy Rose supporter over next to me during the women's tag match at Survivor Series. So that was a lot of fun, but Asuka and Naomi should beat Absolution, and they're doing some sort of dissension between the two. Does that mean that Sonya Deville's going to come out of the babyface in this situation? I guess. I don't know how she would be in as babyface role. She's kind of the silent assassin, silent one who just beats everybody up, but
Silent
we'll
killer.
have to stay tuned and find out.
I mean, Mandy Rose has to be the babyface. She's God's greatest gift.
Maybe down the line, but I think right now she's the heel in the situation because she's the one trying to take all the glory from Sonya Deville.
And can I just say, she has a better V-trigger than that guy, Kenny Omega. I'm just saying it right now.
I mean, Aleister Black hit some good V-triggers.
Aleister Black does have some nice jumping knees. There we go. We'll call it that. All right, moving on. Your boy, Daniel Bryan, who had this dastardly heel turn last week. He cuts this very, very interesting promo. What are your thoughts since you're the big Daniel Bryan guy on the pod?
I enjoyed this very much. It's just the first step of wherever Daniel Bryan's going. I felt like, it was a slow build to wherever he was going, and then we finally saw, like, the actual heel Daniel Bryan that we're going to see from now on at the very end. But I thought it was a very good promo for him. I said this on my Survivor Series recap that when Daniel Bryan came down to the ring, just the look and the swagger that he had, that I kind of fell in love with Daniel Bryan again. He was kind of getting a little stale, just doing the yes thing, going through the motions, but then coming out just all black, having like the swagger and just the way he carries himself now, kind of a crazed look in his eye. I'm really digging this Daniel Bryan character, and I wasn't on the podcast when he actually turned heel. But I'm not a big fan of Bryan turning heel just because of, he's such a good wrestler that he's going to be a good heel. He's going to put out good performances. But I think in the end, this is just going to get Daniel Bryan more popular than he's been in, the last few years.
Yeah, he had a certain twisted, sadistic look in his eye. He said the yes movement is dead. After his promo, he made the ring announcer announce to the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, your WWE champion, the new Daniel Bryan." He said, "If you fight for your dreams will fight for you," and all that other stuff. I really enjoyed the promo. I'm interested in this version of a heel Daniel Bryan. Bryan's been heel many times in his career, during the whole no thing in his World Heavyweight title run in WWE, and of course, heel Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor. A little foreshadowing to our promo pick of the week. But yeah, so I'm all for heel Daniel Bryan. I'm very interested in it. Got rid of the blue and green or his traditional burgundy, maroon, or red or whatever color you want to call it, and just black and white tights. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I think right now they're in a good spot with AJ against Bryan because AJ is arguably the more popular wrestler. Bryan was getting booed a lot in LA, so that's a good sign. But then once you move past that, you put Bryan against Hardy. I think Bryan gets cheered over Jeff Hardy. But right now you have Hardy, Mysterio, maybe The Miz. If you put Bryan against The Miz,
Ooh.
You said that he was wrestling full-fledged babyface. But if you have this, they go to whatever big-time pay-per-view city, I think more people are prone to cheer Daniel Bryan than The Miz, to be honest. So I think it just has to do with, if you want Daniel Bryan to get over as a heel, you have to have him against the right opponents.
Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan could be a lot of fun.
It can be a lot of fun if you book it the right way. I think Mysterio was over at Survivor Series. I'm not the biggest fan of him losing to Randy Orton. We can get to that, but Daniel Bryan's heel turn should be a boatload of fun, and I think this is just going to benefit Daniel Bryan in the long term and just make him a bigger star. And maybe even by WrestleMania, we might be having like the same issues we had 5 years ago, where Daniel Bryan is just a big star, and he's not supposed to be that big of a star, and it's just the same thing all over again.
I think Bryan drops the title at Mania.
Against who?
I want to say The Miz. I do. I really do. I want to say heel Daniel Bryan drops to a babyface Mike Mizanin. That's what I want to say. I think AJ wins the Royal Rumble, goes and challenges Brock on Raw. So that's what I think.
And the other thing is, on Survivor Series, if Daniel Bryan was a babyface going up against Brock Lesnar, even if it was kind of the same character where he's much more confident and not, doing the whole yes chant thing. If Daniel Bryan was a babyface against Brock Lesnar, yes, that match was fun. It was very compelling, but if you had just traditional face versus heel, I think that match could have been so much better. I think the crowd was a little confused of how to react to everything that was going on in that match.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this. They didn't bastardize the heel turn. They did it subtly. Bryan, he came out, did 2 yes chants, and then he's like, hey, what the hell am I doing? I don't do that anymore. And he just walks down to the ring, low blows Brock. And I got to give a big shout out to my boy Lesnar for selling the way he did for Daniel Bryan. Brock's still showing that he's very good at this sport. But yeah, I mean, Bryan, he was towing the line of heel and babyface, sure. I mean, he was the dastardly heel when he lowballed Brock, but then he was still the guy that we fell in love with, the underdog, when he was so close to making Brock tap out. So they towed the line perfectly, not too much, not too less. It was very well done. It was very tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Randy Orton, former 14-time world champion, 13-time, my bad, 13-time world champion, defeats Rey Mysterio. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
It was a fine little match here. I don't understand why you have Rey Mysterio just lose clean to Randy Orton. If you want Randy Orton to be over as a heel and have him get over on Rey Mysterio, you can just have him, cheat to win. But yet he really didn't do that. He hit a cool RKO and then hit another RKO, so it's almost kind of like a babyface finish for Randy Orton. And then Rey Mysterio loses. His mask gets taken off, and we pretty much saw Rey Mysterio's face. But even though I don't think we're supposed to, but whatever. I would have I don't know if I'd say would have saved this match, but I would have done it differently to where Rey is didn't have to take as much damage as he should have, because Rey Mysterio coming back should be like the number 2 babyface in the company, especially now with Daniel Bryan not being on SmackDown or being a heel.
Yeah. I mean, I did it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the baseball slide into the RKO, I thought that was kind of neat. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, this was pretty much babyface finish from my boy Randy Orton. But he takes the mask off of Mysterio, and I guess these guys are gonna be fighting for heritage and legacy and all this other stuff. So that's gonna be interesting to watch.
So what are we gonna get a hair versus mask match now at TLC? Even though Randy has like no hair now.
I don't know. Put them in a chairs match or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, Mysterio did get attacked with the chair, so there you go. There's the chairs match.
Yeah.
And then every time I see a chairs match, I think of was it Wade Barrett and John Cena thing, where just he gets buried with a bunch of chairs. They should just do that every single time.
Nah, man. I mean, Kalisto Baron Corbin had a really nice chairs match at TLC a couple years ago. That was nice. Well, I like more matches like that. But yeah, I mean, it could be.
They do a stairs match.
Ooh. Big Show and Eric Rowan, shout out. Or, it could be a number one contendership match. Winner of this gets Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble, something like that. I don't know.
Or AJ Styles, because AJ versus Bryan is going to be at TLC.
That is true.
And I am excited for that. And it better be given the time and it better not have a crappy finish, but it probably will.
Will
It'll probably get a low blow again from Daniel Bryan.
Will you be in attendance for TLC?
Yes, I will be in attendance for TLC. Still have not gotten the tickets yet, but I will be. I will find a way to get there.
Wow, look at you, back to back with all these wrestling shows, my guy.
You know, I don't got the plug like you, but
I don't got.
I gotta make do.
I'm not saying I got a plug, but you know, I'm gonna be there. All right,
For the low.
for the for the Lolo Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got?
I mean, I'm gonna probably stick with my boy Daniel Bryan. I just really enjoyed what he did at Survivor Series. I loved his promos. Probably the best thing that came out of that Smackdown. As I said, I had high expectations for some storyline developments, and they just didn't really live up to my expectations, or didn't even do what I thought they should do. But the Daniel Bryan promo on SmackDown really delivered. I was very intrigued of what he was doing and how his heel character was going to come out. And the match itself, Survivor Series, my favorite match of the show. So, Daniel Bryan.
All right, for me, I'm going to go with the Queen, Charlotte Flair, the 7-time women's champion, for the badassery that she displayed at Survivor Series, beating down Rowdy Ronda Rousey. I loved everything about it. I thought the beatdown was cool. I did cringe a little bit when she stomped on her neck with a chair inside of it. I was like, oh, hey, yo, that's not that good. That looks like it hurt, which I'm sure it did. But yeah, I got Charlotte Flair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on from that, we have our illustrious promo pick of the week. Brandon, take it away.
So, with Daniel Bryan having his first heel promo on WWE in a very long time, I decided to go back in the time machine and go to Daniel Bryan's work in ROH. This is kind of shows the two sides of Daniel Bryan, how good he can be as a face and a heel, all in one promo, because this is during the whole CZW ROH promotion wars. So Daniel kind of heals on the CZW crowd, as well as kind of being a babyface for the ROH crowd. So kind of a different promo in terms of just somebody playing both sides of the fence. Kind of what Charlotte was doing, but I feel like Daniel Bryan did this a whole hell of a lot better. But Daniel Bryan, I think if you just type in like Daniel Bryan heel promo, it's the first thing that comes up. Like, it's a 9-minute thing on YouTube. Audio quality is not that good, but you get the gist of it, and you kind of see Daniel Bryan carrying himself in a different light over in ROH.
Yeah, he was like calling people fags and stuff. I was like, yo, this is pretty offensive.
And yes, you see Daniel Bryan cuss, something you usually never see.
Exactly, man. I was like, oh my god, this is something interesting. I watched the whole thing. I loved it. I enjoyed everything about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the match pick of the week. We're going back in time. We're going back, what is this, about what? Almost like 24 years? We're going back 24 years. Razor Ramon versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 10, 1994, the ladder match to determine who will be the full-time Intercontinental Champion. Shawn had personal issues with the company. He left with the IC title. Razor Ramon was awarded a new IC title after he had I don't think there was a tournament, but he won a match for it. So they had two IC champions. We needed one undisputed one. And this ladder match, it stands the test of time. It absolutely does. I'm sure every wrestling fan who has a fandom like us has seen this match. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, as you said, it's a ladder match. A lot of these, like, I don't know if I'd say hardcore match, but definitely matches from 20 plus years ago sometimes don't hold up, just because of everything we've seen up until this point. But this one definitely holds up. There's not a bunch of spots and everything like a TLC from, Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys were. But this just told a nice story. It kind of shows just how great Shawn Michaels was. It was kind of, people say that Shawn wrestled two matches, one against Razor and one against the ladder. But it was a really good match that you can watch whenever, and they don't rely too much on high spots and trying to kill themselves, and it's more psychology, and sometimes that doesn't hold up 20 plus years ago, but this one definitely does. Yes.
Classic match inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram, The BulletCast, YouTube channel, The BulletCast. Email us, please, BulletCast2 is in the number 2, sweet, SWEET, at gmail.com. We're on 99.9 FM KDub on Watsonville, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. We are on iHeartRadio, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to The BulletCast. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy Black Friday. Go out and get you a deal on a giant 40-inch flat screen TV. Have fun with the family. Eat the greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, yams, turkey, all that good stuff. You know, Brandon, what are your plans for Thanksgiving, buddy?
I'm going to be going over to my aunt's house, going to be eating there, watching some football, and then probably shopping, and then my annual golfing extravaganza on Black Friday.
Oh, you got a whole little event planned for the next couple of days, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the show next week, we are going to try to figure out a day. I have a tournament to go to next Friday. So, Brandon, I will try to coordinate with you something to where we get the show out to the people.
Mm-hmm. I have not done an Under the Radar yet. Still debating if I should do one or not this week. But if you want, you can go to Curveballs and Chair Shots, and I have my full review of Survivor Series. And the audio quality is not the best in the world because it was filmed on the road, so I had to yell a little bit to get my point across, and then anyway, so you can go watch that. Maybe I'll do one for Thanksgiving. I don't know, but definitely Under the Radar will be back next week on Tuesday.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, have a happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday. All right, Brandon, I'll talk to you later, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the BulletCast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the BulletCast. Thank you for listening.